This is the Dolor Factor, and with me, Sharon Williams. She is a long friend and a very respected person in the community, which is why she's here talking about some of the delicate situations that makes up our lifestyles, really, isn't it? Now, you said earlier about the young women, and I do want to talk about it. What is it that makes a young woman a young woman?
I think it depends on who you speak to. But first of all, let me issue a disclaimer here.
All right.
I am not an expert. When I speak, it's from my experience as a mother, as a sister, daughter, journalist, somebody who I'm very observant. And, I tend to look at things and weigh situations out and come to my own conclusions and so on. But it's not so much what makes a young woman, but what are your expectations of that young woman? You know, and as a woman, as a young person, I would like to see our young women put more value on themselves, right? It is I have two very firm beliefs, and when we spoke on the phone, I told you. One is that the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world. Because ultimately it goes back to mama. And you see that with both boys and girls. When they are in any difficulty, the first thing is, I want my mommy. Yeah,
we do that even now.
I'm telling you.
In our older age.
Yes, it's either you call on God and then you call on your mothers. And you see young boys carrying on and whatever. The minute you mention their mother, it's all over. You know, you kiss my mother, Gasa. So you get that. And I think that we, like I say, we need to instill some values in them. Self-esteem. And I think our society is doing our young women a disservice in the way that it does not prepare them for the world. And then very sadly, I have heard many, many stories of young women being prey to men, boys and men, in the home, in the community. And I say to many young women, I tell them that and they laugh. I say, but you are really much more than that tiny strip of flesh between your thighs. You really are, you know. It doesn't begin and end there. I remember growing up, and next door we had a family, and there were a lot of girls, and they would have parties, and we'd go over. And one of the things was a dancing competition, which degenerated into a whining competition. And you found like the people, grown men and grown women, they would egg them on and encourage them, and the more suggestive and salacious the move, the better. What are you saying to these children?
You know, I want to stay on that vein, but I want to think of it in a different way. Imagine now we have young women.
Yes, we do.
Watching us. They have aspirations. They may even look at the two of us and say, wow, you know, I wish I could talk about things like this. I wish I could look that way, or I can feel comfortable and so on, but I can't do it. I feel that we don't always have to rely on our parents or our teachers. We just have to aspire.
Aspire, but have something to aspire to.
That's right. Now, if we just wait for it to come to us, it's not going to happen.
It won't, you know.
That's why people talk about mentors, having mentors and so on. It's one thing saying I'd like a mentor, but it's another thing actually seeking, finding that person. It could be a person, doesn't have to be a mentor, and saying, I'd like to be that person. I can be like this person, not identical to, but I can, you know, be someone that other people look at and say, okay, then this is an intelligent person. They can do that. And no matter what anyone says to you, if it's in your head. I remember when I was growing up in England, I have two children. Now my son is 28, my daughter is 29, soon 30, right? I remember the father saying to me, nobody will want me because I have two children from two different fathers. He used to tell me that. Nobody would want me because I was too skinny. Nobody would want me because nobody wants a clever woman. At that age, because it was said to me so many times.
So many times, which is why they say that when women are in abusive relationships, it's, you know, people look and say, but he hitting her, why she don't leave? She like it.
Yeah,
you know, they have worked on your mind.
That's right.
And your self-esteem. And you stay there because after a while, if you say it to somebody long enough, they believe it.
That's right. And why is it that it takes certain celebrities like Oprah and all the others to say, well, I was abused when I was a child, blah, blah, blah. You hear it, and you may be in that situation, and you hear it. You don't do anything about it. So my point here is, I've just said certain things to our viewers who maybe did not know that about me and think, oh wow, I didn't know that. I could tell them tons of stories.
Yes.
Because I'm not the person I am now that I was years ago. Yes. And many people would say that too. Whether you had a childhood that was negative or whatever, you'd say that you've changed over the years.
Yes, you have.
The difference is that you have to start yourself to believe in yourself and not expect that even if someone says that to you enough, you should start believing it. Because another thing, people tell you the bad things, you believe the bad things quick. But when someone tells you something good,
you question it, right? It's like, you think, but if they tell you, oh, you big-headed ugly thing, it's like, you go in the mirror and my head big for true.
Yeah, no, it's true.
It's true.
I mean, why did they say to you, you must fight a bully by standing up to the bully? Because if you don't stand up, and sometimes it's the most terrifying thing to do, to actually stand up to the bully. But if you just keep on accepting the behavior, what they're dishing out to you, then you're always going to be feeling less and less. So it's up to you.
You're enabling it, yes.
It's up to you. And if you can have people like Oprah and Tyler Perry, all these people, how well these people are doing now. It's because they decided, you know what, all this is happening to me, but I have a passion for something. I've just mentioned media people, but there are other people. People, you know, who are regular people who don't have those kind of jobs, people who have, you know, farmers and everyone else who make very valued contributions to the community. They went through it and they decided, I want my own farm. And they went ahead and they did it. Yes,
it's true. But, and that is why I think any opportunity I get, I mean, like, I'm not no big whatever, but I have had, as I said, my experiences and I observe, and I always think that people need to offer or to expose young people and expose them to a different point of view, a different life, which is why before the years ended, as God is my witness, I'm going to do this. I want to start off a mentoring program. Because people, I have many friends, my age, younger, older, they have things to offer. They have their experiences. Now many of them, like me, my children aren't home anymore. I have emptiness syndrome. And I have the time, I have the energy. Why can't I pass it on? Another thing, you were saying, people look at you, maybe they look at me, I don't know, and they think that we were born with a silver spoon going up the wrong way. You know, of course we have silver spoon, you know, and they don't know your struggles. They don't know how much hard work it takes, how much dedication, how much commitment, and we need to tell young people that. It's not going into drugs or selling your body or whatever. It is not instant gratification. You can't get this instantly. You have to decide what you want to do, as you said, or you might not even know what you want to do, but you want better for yourself.
And you do it in a respectful way.
Yes.
And the other thing is you keep the company that's going to take you there.
Take you there,
not
right.
the company that's going to bring you down. This is the Dolor Factor. We'll see you soon.